Hello everyone, welcome to the Rose project of Rayat Shikshan Sanstha Satara. Myself N.A. Veer, I am from SDM College Karad and my topic of representation is definite integration. So this is my lecture number 2 and my topic of presentation is definite integration presented by N.A. Veer. So in this lecture number 2, first we are going to see fundamental theorem of integral calculus. So let us see first what is the statement of this theorem. Let f be the continuous function defined on closed interval ab, and if integral of f of x dx is equal to gx plus c, then integral a to b f of x dx is equal to g of x plus c, and we apply for this limits a to b. So whenever you have to find the integral a to b f of x dx, the value is calculated as g of b minus g of a. So let us see proof of this. As we have considered integral a to b f of x dx is g of x plus c, then after finding the integral of this term, you have to apply the limits from a to b to this term. Then in next step, we will observe that g of b plus c is the first term minus g of a plus c is the next term. So value will be as like this. Then plus c minus c gets cancelled and the value remains is g of b minus g of a. So whenever you have to find the integral a to b f of x dx, the value will be calculated as g of b minus g of a. In note that in this integration, that is integral a to b f of x dx, a is known as the lower limit and b is known as the upper limit of the integration. So now we will see one example based on fundamental theorem of integral calculus. So this is our first example. Example is integral 2 to 5 x square minus x dx. So here it is fx is x square minus x. Lower limit is 2 and upper limit is 5. So we will observe that integral of x square is x cube by 3 minus integral of x is x square by 2. And then we will apply the limit for this integration from 2 to 5. So after applying the upper limit, we get this value minus after applying the lower limit, we get this value. Replace only this x with upper limit first and then lower limit later. Then we get calculation like this. After doing calculation, we get this term, and then afterwards this term, and final calculation, the term remains is only 151 divided by 3. So integral 2 to 5 x square minus x dx is equal to 151 divided by 3. Now here are some important properties that we are going to see. These properties are very important and are very useful in evaluation of the definite integral. If you know these properties, then you will definitely solve the examples which are based on definite integral or which are based on these properties. So let us see first property, that is property first. First property statement is integral a to a f of x dx is equal to 0. What this property says? This property says that whenever there are upper limit and lower limits are same, then integral of f of x dx, it will be 0. So let us prove this property. Let integral of f of x dx is equal to g of x plus c. Then after getting integral of this term, we will apply the limits which are given to us, that is a to a. So after getting upper limit, we have this term minus when you have lower limit put in this term will be come. So by observing these two terms are plus minus types, g of a minus g of a plus c minus c. So answer will be 0. Thus our first property gets verified. Then we will see property second. In property second, what is the statement? Integral a to b f of x dx is equal to minus integral b to a f of x dx. That is, whenever you will change the limits of this integral, that is upper limit and lower limit, the value of integral gets changes by sign only. So we observe, or we will find answer of this integration replaces with minus sign only. So let us prove this property. Let integral of f of x dx is equal to g of x plus c. Then if this integration has answer g of x plus c, then we apply the limits a to b to this term, then we get this term as answer. First is upper limit value minus lower limit value. So after calculation, plus c minus c gets cancelled and the remaining terms are g of b minus g of a. So from this step, we will take minus sign outside. Then the step remains is minus g of a minus g of b, and that is the value of minus integral b to a f of x dx. So integral a to b f of x dx is same as integral minus b to a f of x dx. So our second property is also gets verified here. Now, for verification of property second, let us see one example. Example is integral 1 to 3 x dx. First, we will find the integral of this x dx. We already know that integral of x is x square by 2. So, we now apply the limits from 1 to 3 to this term. Then we will get this is as upper limit value minus this is as lower limit value. So after calculation, this step appears and the final answer will be 4. Now we will solve this example by changing its limits as 3 to 1 x dx. So in this also, integral of x is x square by 2 and we apply here the limits from 3 to 1. So after substituting this lower limit and upper limits value, we get these two terms, and by calculating or by calculation this term will appear and the final answer will be minus 4. So you will see the difference between these two integration. The answer in first case is 4 and in second case is minus 4. So our property number second gets verified. Now we will see property third. What is the statement of property third? Property third says that integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of t dt. Here in this property third, we have changed the variable x with the variable t only. This means that whenever you change the variable, then while keeping the integrals lower limit and upper limit same, then integrals value does not changes. So we will prove this property. Let integral f of x dx is equal to gx plus c. Then we will apply the limits from a to b. The value gets like this. And after calculation, plus c minus c gets cancelled. The value remains only. Here is g of b minus g of a. We call this as equation 1. And then afterwards, we will go to the RHS. So in RHS also, integral of this term is g of x plus c. Instead of x, there is only t. So integral of f of t is g of t plus c. And then we will apply the limits a to b. So by putting the upper limit, we get this value. By putting the lower limit, we get this value. Here also plus c minus c gets cancelled and the value remains is only g of b minus g of a. We call this as equation number 2. So from 1 and 2, you will observe that integral a to b f of x dx is same as integral a to b f of t dt. So for verification of property third, now we will see one example. What is the integral of cos x dx in between pi by 6 to pi by 3? So everyone knows that integral of cos x is sin x. So we will apply the limits from pi by 6 to pi by 3 to this term only. Then by putting upper limit, this value appears. By putting lower limit, this value appears. And by substituting the values of these two terms, we have this step. And by calculating or by calculation, we get this term as a answer. Now, same example we will solve by changing the variable x with t. So this term appears, integral of cos t is sin t, and we will apply the limits for same term, that is sin t. We get this term. By putting the values of these two terms, we get this step, and the final answer will be this, root 3 minus 1 divided by 2. So in both cases, we get same answer. So these two integrals are equals. So our property number 3 gets verified here. Now we will go to our next property, that is property number 4. What this property says? This property says that integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx, where c is the term which appears in between a to b. That is, c is in between a to b and c lies in between a to b. So whenever there is a term like this, then you can split the interval a to b from that point which appears in between them. Now we will verify this property. Let integral f of x dx is g of x plus c. Then consider RHS of this term. We will solve RHS first. So from RHS, we know that integral of f of x is g of x. Similarly, integral of f of x is g of x. So only different is there are limits. Their limits are different. So in first value, we apply the limits a to c. In second value, we apply the limits c to b. So these are two terms are for first term, and these two terms are for second term. This is upper limit value minus lower limit value of first bracket, and this is upper limit value minus lower limit value of second bracket. So after doing calculation, plus minus or minus sign getting inner bracket, we the term remains only is g of b minus g of a, and this is the value of g of x plus c from a to b, and this is the value of integral a to b f of x dx, which is equal to LHS. So our property number 4 gets verified here. Then for verification of property 4, we will see one example. Example is minus 1 to 5 2x plus 3 dx is equal to minus 1 to 3 2x plus 3 dx plus 3 to 5 2x plus 3 dx. Here we have taken the value 3 in between interval minus 1 to 5. So we can split this interval into two integration like this, and we will solve this. First we will solve LHS. So first we have taken the integral of 2x plus 3. Integral of 2x is 2x square by 2, and integral of 3 dx is 3x. Then we will apply the limits from minus 1 to 5. So after calculation, 2 gets cancelled, term remains is only this, and by applying upper limit value, we have this term. By applying lower limit value, we have this term. So by calculating or by calculation, we get this term, and the final answer will be 42. This is our LHS answer. Now we will solve RHS. In RHS, there are two integrals. So we have already find the integral of 2x plus 3 in previous slide. Then we directly put here the term x square plus 3x as answer of or integral of 2x plus 3 in both terms, and only we change here, that is the integrals limits are here only. So here in minus 1 to 3 and here in 3 to 5. So after applying the upper limit and lower limit value for this bracket, we have this bracket, and for this bracket after applying upper limit and lower limit, we get this term as an answer. So by calculating, we get this step. This is our next calculation, and the final answer will be 42. So in both sides, that is LHS and RHS, we get same answer. So our property number 4 gets verified. Now we will we will move to our next property, that is property number 5. Property number 5 says that integral a to b f of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Here you can replace this x with upper limit plus lower limit minus x. So here x gets replaced by a plus b minus x dx. Now let us prove this property. As usual, let integral f of x dx is equal to g of x plus c. Then we will solve RHS first. Consider RHS of this statement. Then we will solve this by substitution. So we put a plus b minus x is equal to t. So x value of x will be a plus b minus t. So x will be like this. Then we will derive this term. So dx is equal to minus dt. Then our limits are also gets changed here. As x tends to a, our t tends to b, and as x tends to b, our t tends to a. So our RHS becomes integral b to a f of t dt minus dt. Then we keep minus side outside and remaining term as it is. Then by using previous properties, we can change this integral as integral a to b f of t dt. And this term is also same as integral a to b f of x dx by using the previous our property. So our this value is equal to the value of LHS. So our property, this property gets verified here. Now we will see one example for verification of this property, that is verification of property 5. We will see one example. Integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 sine square x dx. So let I is equal to this term and we call this as equation number 1. By using that property 5, we can replace this x with upper limit plus lower limit minus x. So we get this step. So everyone knows that these two terms when gets added, we get sine pi by 2 here, sine square pi by 2 minus x term. And we know that sine pi by 2 minus x is cos x. So instead of this term, we get cos square x dx as a I value. So we call this as equation number 2. So in next step, we are getting added equation 1 and equation 2. So when 1 and 2 gets added, we have I plus I, that is 2i, and from RHS these two terms gets added. So 2i is equal to these two integral have same limits, so we add these two terms, that is sine square x plus cos square x dx, and we know that the value of this sine square x plus cos square x dx is 1 dx. So the term remains is integral of 1 dx is x, and then we apply the limits from pi by 6 to pi by 3. We get this term as an answer, that is pi by 6. So we want the answer of I. So in next step, this transfer this 2 to RHS, we get the answer as pi by 12. So now we will move to the property 6. What the property 6 says? Property 6 says that integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So you can replace this x with upper limit minus x like this. So here x is replaced by a minus x. Now we will prove this property. Let integral f of x dx is equal to g of x plus c. Now consider RHS of this term as, then here also we apply the substitution. So we put a minus x is equal to t, then x is equal to a minus t, and dx is equal to minus dt. Then limits of integration are also gets changed. As x varies from 0 to a, our t varies from a to 0. So our I becomes a to 0 f of t minus dt. So we keep minus sign outside, so term remains as it. Then in next step, we apply the previous property. By using that property, we get this step 0 to a f of t dt. And also by previous property, we can change this t with variable x. So we get this term as answer, and this term is the answer of LHS. So our this property number 6 gets verified. Now, let us see one example for verification of property number 6. Let I is equal to integral 0 to pi x into sin x into cos raised to 4x dx, and we call this as equation number 1. So we will use the property number 6. This is the statement of our property number 6. Here we change this x with a minus x, that is upper limit minus x, that is by property 6, according to property 6. So our integration becomes 0 to pi, replace this x, these three terms x, by pi minus x, pi minus x, and pi minus x. So this step will appear. Then in next step, sin pi minus theta is sin theta, so sin x remains only here, and cos pi minus x is cos x. So here cos raised to 4x dx remains only, and we call this as equation 2. So in next step, we are going to add equation 1 and 2. Then after adding, we get 2y is equal to I plus I, that is 2y. 2y is equal to these two terms as equation 1 and 2, from equation 1 and 2. So here the limits are same. So we have x plus pi minus x as a in bracket, and these two terms as sin x into cos raised to 4x dx. So here plus x minus x gets cancelled, and pi term keep outside of this term. So pi into integral 0 to pi sin x into cos raised to 4x dx. So transfer this 2 in RHS, we get I is equal to pi by 2 integral 0 to pi cos raised to 4x into sin x dx. So for evaluation of this integration, we put cos x is equal to t, then sin x dx will be minus dt, and limits of this integration are also get changed. When x is equal to 0, t is equal to 1, and when x is equal to pi, t is equal to minus 1. So I becomes I is equal to pi by 2 integral 1 to minus 1 t raised to 4 minus dt. We keep minus sign outside, so this step appears, and we have to find the integral of t raised to 4, and integral of t raised to 4 is t raised to 5 divided by 5. So after finding the integral, we will apply the upper limit and lower limit to this term. We keep 5 term constant outside. Then by applying upper limit, we have get this term, and by applying lower limit, we get this term. By calculation, these terms are remains only, and the final answer will be 2 pi by 10. So this is about all about our definite integration, and we have seen properties 1 to 6. So thank you all.